Welcome to this tutorial. We're going to go over reports and report server, and we're going to focus on adding a chart to our report today. We're going to cover adding a chart, assigning fields to that chart, and do some basic formatting in that chart as well. And we'll move on to working with multiple data series as far as that chart is concerned. So welcome. To begin with showing our tutorial here, we're going to add a basic chart, and then we're going to view our data set over here. We're going to view it by the sales territory as well as the unit price and the sales amount. So to begin, we'll go up here and choose our chart, and we'll just drag it to our design view, and we're going to go with the basic column chart. Have that highlighted. Can double click as well, and we'll just enlarge this so we can see it better. Okay, and as you can see, this is our basic chart, and if we do preview, there is no data there right now. Just show that real fast. Right, we're loading. Okay, let's go back to design view, and we're going to add a couple of fields to our chart. And what we do to add a field, we just click on the chart, and as you can see, our details, category group details, series group details, and values. So what we're going to do is we're going to align our from our bottom axis here, or our horizontal axis, and we have our vertical axis. We're going to go with the horizontal axis, and we're going to go over to category or group details, click on add fields, and we're going to add our sales territory region. Alright, and as you can see, it placed our territory regions here. And on our vertical axis field, we're going to add our values that are going to determine how our actual chart is going to be shown here, and those values will be indicated here. So we're going to go over to the right where it says values. I'm going to click on our plus sign here, and we're going to go down to unit price. It's our first value, and our second value is going to be sales amount. And as you can see now that they're both indicated there. Okay, from there we can go and well, actually, let's take a view of what we have there added so far, just to give you a view of what it would look like. And that's our basic chart information for the unit price and sales amount, and from here we would just go in and do a little more formatting. Okay, let's go back to the design view. Alright, let's go ahead and start with some basic formatting. Let's go down here at the bottom of the horizontal view of the chart, and we want to make sure that every field is shown in our chart. Let's see what we have in preview. Make sure, okay, we don't have a label for each particular chart here. So let's go back and make sure each one has a label. I'll go back to the design view. You're going to click on the small area here, right click, go down to horizontal axle properties. Okay, and we're going to come down to we're going to stay on axis options and come down to where it says interval, and instead of auto, we're going to change that to 1. Okay, we're going to click OK, and let's go back and take a look. And now you see each particular chart here, or indicator, has a actual indicator for each part. So we're not skipping in between or going by twos. It's going by one interval, so you see each particular sales territory. Okay, let's go back to design view and change this axis title. And we're just going to click down here on it says axis title. Let's see, what do we want to call this? We'll just call that sales region. Okay, and let's go take a look. Since we're formatting our actual axis here, let's go over to our vertical axis. Let's see, intervals here. We can right click and go down to vertical axis properties. And here everything looks good. I could come down to where it says numbers and currency, and we can actually format a currency if we want to show decimal places. If not, we can come here and indicate a thousand separator if we need to, and we can come here and make sure that's in thousands. We can change to millions, we can change to billions, but I'm gonna leave it just like it is. Won't click that, take that out, and we also have the option to change the currency format if need be. We're going to leave that alone. We'll just click OK. We're going to come over here to the vertical axis title. Double click there. Let's see. We'll just call this sales dollars. Okay, and see we have our vertical chains, we have our horizontal chains. Let's just take a quick pick. Quick view, and you can see the actual sales per region. Like I said before, I probably will go back and do some formatting on this. We want that to look a whole lot better. But that's just our basic formatting, so we can head back to the design view. Alright, let's do some more formatting of our chart here. Let's go over up top where it says chart title. I do have the option to move this over to the left or over to the right or down near the bottom. We can just highlight over here where you see the 4 directional arrow and click on that, and as you can see, it light up in blue and go around the actual chart. That's where it would drop the actual title. As you can see, right hand side. Okay, we're going to go in the left hand corner. Not right there. Let's go right. Yeah, there we go. And we can do the same thing with the legend. That's one way we can change it. We can highlight it here, but instead of just moving it, we'll right click on it. We'll show you a second way to actual put that in a different position. Go to legend properties, and as you can see right here, we have about 12 different places that we can click on to actually place the actual legend, and you can see behind the scenes that it moves around. Let's go at the upper right hand corner. Let's see here. Yeah, there we go, upper right hand corner, and we'll just click OK, and let's take a preview. And that's actually a little bit better. It gives us a little bit more room over here to the right to see the chart, the actual numbers. And we can just reposition that and reposition our chart title as need be. Let's go back to the design view, and we can let's kind of raise that up a little bit. And like I said before, you can play around with it. Resize it if need be. Okay. Let's see. Let's call this. Let's see. Sales by. Let's go with region. Just to give it a title. Okay, this looks a whole lot cleaner. Let's go back to preview. Okay, and as we continue to format it, you can see, I'm sorry, we're still in design. Go back to preview, and as you can see, it's coming together as we take our take our time and format the different parts of the chart. Let's go back to our design view. Alright, now that we are viewing our basic chart and we can see our basic information, let's say for example we wanted to view in each particular graph here on a chart or indicator here on our chart that we want to see the actual number, and it could be between 9 million or 8 million 5. we want to see that actual number above the actual indication. Let's go back to the design view, and we can click on the actual chart indicators, and we can right click, go down to show data label, and as you can see, the data labels have already popped up on top of each indicator. Now let's go to preview, and as you can see, those numbers are shown above each one. And we can go back to design view and go down to series label properties. We can go to number, and here we can say currency, and here we have the option to actually show how we want to format it. We can make the decimal places disappear. We can say thousand or millions indicator. We can add a separator if need be, and we'll just leave it like that. Hit OK just to show you what it's done, and go back to preview. And now you can see the numbers look a whole lot cleaner, and you can see the actual value and where they fall. And we got rid of we didn't place the 1,000 separators in there. We did get rid of the decimal places, so it's just a basic indication. We can go back into that series property and change our values again if we want to add decimal places like they are here, and comma separators. But we don't want it to get too messy in here. And I can also do that for the blue indication as well for unit price. Let's go back to the design view. Alright, before we move on, let's go over one more formatting option that I want to cover. Real simple one. Let's say we wanted to change the colors here from the blue and yellow to a different color. Let's just go in here and right click and go down to chart properties. Okay, and we can see where it says color palette, and we have a bright pastel. And let's just right click on the drop down arrow. Let's see, we can go down to sea green. Let's move this out of the way so you can kind of see what it's doing there. As you can see, that's the sea green color. See, grayscale. And you would just take your time and go through each one, and you can choose a particular color. Let's go to fire. That's interesting. Let's hit OK. And let's go over and preview. And we have our fire color there, and our yellow and red. And you can see it changed the indicator. So let's go back to design. And we also have a second option if you wanted to change those colors. We can go down to the actual red color indicator, right click. Then we can go down to series properties, and we can go down to fill, and we have our option here to change the color as well. Still solid. We can go down in here and pick an actual color. Let's scoot this over a little bit. Let's say we had green, and as you can see, it changes there as well, and it's just for that particular indicator. So both of them won't change. I can right click on the yellow one as well and get that color to change. And we'll just hit OK. We'll hit preview. And there's those indicators. So that's just two ways that you can change the colors if need be, if you didn't like that particular palette. And you would do the other columns the same way as well. Let's go back to our design view. Tutorial, I wanted to go over one more formatting, and that's conditional formatting. If we wanted to show a particular color based on an expression that we're testing something within the chart itself. So let's choose the unit price column, and let's say we're going to choose the max unit price in a particular sales territory. So we want to know, were there sales at the max sale, or were they at the lower unit price? We're just going to go with something basic just to show you how we can use an expression here. And we're going to go, we're going to right click on the actual chart, which particular column we're going to go with. And we're going to go down to field, and instead of picking a color here as we did before, we go to the expression here. Okay, we're going to take out the automatic, and the operator or conditional statement we're going to use is the if statement, or if as it's classified in SQL Server. Let's go equal. Sorry. If save parentheses here, and we're going to test the unit price. So we come down to where it says fields, and we'll go with unit price, and we're going to test the max unit price. So if the if statement says if the unit price is equal to, say, max unit price, and we are going to get this from the fields right here. We're going to be using this particular data set. It says data set 1, so we're going to have to indicate that here in our max to indicate where our unit price is coming from, and we're going to indicate that in some double quotes, and we'll say data set. Okay, we're going to close that off, and we're going to put a comma here. So if this is true, let's choose a color. We're going to come down and choose a particular color. So we come back to our constants. See, we have yellow and green already. Let's go with something. Let's go with a light purple. So if it's true, it's going to be dark violet. And let's say if it's false, let's make it blue. Go light blue, aqua. And we'll close that off. Okay, and the code looks good here. Like I said before, if the max is equal to the unit price in a particular sales area, where they use the max unit price when they made their sales from the data set. I'm sorry, that's data set 1. Let me not forget number 1. I don't want to get any errors back on that. It's going to be dark violet would be the color. If not, it will be aqua. Okay, we got an if statement. Everything looks correct. Let's hit OK. Let's hit OK. And let's preview our chart. And as you can see, in those particular sales territories, they utilize a max unit price for their particular sales, so which is indicated by the purple, and all the other sales territories had maybe a basic unit price or maybe a lower unit price, and that's indicated by the other colors. Okay, and that's the last thing we want to show as far as formatting. That's our conditional formatting, using a expression to find the information when we want to know about sales, and using that expression to indicate it on the actual chart. Thank you.